It's a very simple topic actually. Aquaculture mainly means some kind of agricultural activities below the water. That is why it is called underwater aquaculture. Now what we do is that we will be cultivating aquatic plants or aquatic animals. So whether we can use fish, because right now most of the fish available in Kerala are mainly from aquaculture, because aquaculture gives a year-wise reliability on fish harvesting. Then crustaceans are like prawns, etc. Molluscans are like alumakaya, oyster, etc. Then the small type of algae. In botany you might be studying about the various types of freshwater algae. If you go to certain countries like Japan, Korea, etc., they are using these seaweeds or type or alga for many kinds of food items like for soups, etc. So this practice has been here in China as well as in Egypt for a very long period of time. It is around 4,000 years back. We can see that people are using fish farming, some kind of fish farming. Now with the decline in wild stocks, why this has been become more important is that now harvesting from sea and also from river is not so easy, because the population is increasing. Earlier it was only 2-3 billion people, now it is 8 billion people are there. So managing the needs of so much amount of people may not be easy by harvesting from sea or from river alone. That is why people are now shifting to inland aquaculture. Now here you can see the scope of aquaculture. One is we can use aquaculture in freshwater environment, or in brackish water environment, or in marine water environment. These are the three areas which are commonly used for aquaculture. Then going to the species diversity, fish, shellfish, seaweed and ornamental species. These are the common type of species which are used for aquaculture. Then what are the operational means? Like mainly we are using aquaculture for food production. That is one important aim. Then as an ornamental in aquarium fish, that is another area where aquaculture is used. Now biofuel, like a certain algae can be used. Then pharmaceutical research. Then environmental restoration, restocking environment, endangered species. That is also, for example, if some wild species has been in decline, we can rear them artificially and introduce them into the pond or into river. So in the other side of that, economical impact, like a lot of employment, a lot of people are depending on fish harvesting, fish rearing, fish harvesting, selling, all are profitable income earning business. Now if you go to a Vaikam, there are so many people who are dependent on fish, because fish is an important means of income generation. Then export and many of our prawn species are being marketed to European and American countries. Then when the people are getting money from selling fish, that will be improving the life of the people, especially the village people. Now advantages of aquaculture is that there are numerous benefits are there, as we have seen some of them. Then mainly employment and income, that is the primary advantage of aquaculture. Then foreign exchange also is an important means, the same points we have. Then environmental management, recycling the wastewater and also restoring the aquatic ecosystem, we are using aquaculture. Then one important advantage of aquaculture is that year-round production, compared with the most of the traditional type of like catching fish from river or from sea. They are limited to certain months of the year only. We cannot get fish all throughout the year. All the 12 months it is not possible to get fish. But in case of a pond managed fish, we will be able to get them throughout the year. That is one important advantage of aquaculture. Then we can see what are the salient features of aquaculture. That is it. That is one important aspect of aquaculture. Coming to the salient features, one is control. These are some of the important advantages. One is controlled environment, water quality, feed. In a aquacultural tank, we can monitor everything. Will be able to monitor water quality. We can give them good. For example, in our college, we have a pond. We are giving them the best food, so that when we are harvesting them, they taste much better than the locally collected fish because of higher good quality. If we are giving them good quality feed, they will be growing faster, and the flesh will be also more tastier. Then species selection, and most of the time right now we are using either tilapia or Etroplus or carp species. All these are having good taste, delicious fishes. So they have more market demand, and also based on the climate requirements, we can also select fish. Then diverse techniques are used in like cage culture. Last time I have shown you food culture, food cage. So it's a kind of which is because we in Kerala we have a lot of backwaters. Like if you go to the Vaikam area, there are a lot of area where kails are there or lakes are there, and these lakes are ideally very much ideal for rearing fish. So there we can use this kind of food culture or cage culture. Then high productivity. So if we give them good lot of fish feed, there will be increased productivity. That is, more fish can be cultivated from a limited area. Then technological integration like AI sensor, but all these will be helping in. For example, when a fish has reached a certain size, we will be able to harvest them. When there is time for feeding, the AI sensor will be giving them. Based on the water quality parameters, the AI sensor can put the sufficient quantity of food, etc. Then can be adapted to urban, rural or coastal. So that is also an important feature of aquaculture. Then there are different types of aquaculture. Based on the salinity, there are three types of aquaculture. One is freshwater aquaculture, which we are using in freshwater pond. Brackish water means a salinity between freshwater and seawater. Occurs in, for example, where freshwater river is meeting a seawater, the salinity is actually in between, moderate salinity. In such area where fresh water mixes with the sea water, we are finding brackish water, like shrimp farming, prawn farming, mullet farming. All these fishes require a brackish water, so they are ideal. Then marine aquaculture. Marine aquaculture means sea in open sea, conducted in ocean or coastal area, like species like salmon, sea bass, oyster, seaweed. All these are preferring marine aquaculture. It is also known by the name mariculture. Now another is based on the type of species. For if you are cultivating only one species, we call it by the name monoculture. Farming of single species in a system like tilapia or shrimp, such type is known as a monoculture. If many compatible species are farmed together, like carp, the katla and rohu, or katla, rohu and mrigal, they can be farmed together. They are known as a polyculture, many species together. Then integrated with the multi-trophic aquaculture. Integrated multi-trophic aquaculture. Here what we are doing is combine species from different trophic level. Fish, shellfish, seaweed, to recycle the nutrients and reduce the waste. That is, the waste produced by one species will be utilized by another species. That is why we are using fish, shellfish and seaweed. These three different species are farmed or reared together, so that waste from one will be utilized by another. That is known as IMTA, Integrated Multi-Trophic Aquaculture. It is actually a modified form of polyculture. Then based on intensity of farming. For example, extensive aquaculture, low input. For example, we are just rearing fish in an open sea or lake. We are not modifying the environment very much. We simply utilize the natural water. So in such a situation, we popularly known by the name extensive aquaculture. We are not modifying the environment. The natural environment will be used as such, but the productivity, that is amount of fish produced, will be very limited. But there is no feeding requirement, and managing requirement is also very much limited. So another that kind of situation in which we are farming in an open sea or in an open lake without modifying them very much is known as extensive aquaculture. Then another modification is semi-intensive aquaculture, where we will be giving them some fertilization or some feed also will be given. Other than that, we are not modifying the natural water in any way. That system is known as semi-intensive. Then intensive aquaculture means everything is actually controlled. We will be rearing fish in a tank, and where we will be using oxygen aerators will be given. We will be checking the water quality. We will be giving them food, so that everything is controlled, so that higher growth of the fish will be possible, and that is known as intensive aquaculture. So these are the three types based on intensity of farming. Then based on the culture system, what type of culture we can use. One is pond culture. That from the term itself we can understand. If you are using fish in ponds, we call it by pond culture. Then cage culture. Last time we show you that food culture. These are example of cage. Then pen culture. Pen culture, enclosure built in lakes. That is, in a lake there will be this kind of cages will be there, and that it's the same. It's a modification of cage culture itself. Fish are still within a natural environment, but they cannot escape. That is known as a pen culture. Then raceway culture, flow through system where water is continuously circulated. Ideal for true race through culture. I think I will show you a picture of that. So this is the raceway. So these kind of systems are known as the raceway culture. So the water will be continuously flowing. So that is the peculiarity of the raceway culture. Here also you can see that. This is an example of raceway culture. So water is flowing, and so that the flow through system where water is continuously circulated, ideal for fast growing species. Some fishes need flowing water. Only if the water is flowing they will be able to survive. Some fishes will be able to live in a stagnant water. There is no need for a water flow. So recirculating aquaculture system, highly controlled indoor system that recycle water. So that is also another modification. Then raft and long line culture. This also I will show you. That is mainly used for farming. Mussels. For this mussels, they are using this kind of long line farming. See here also you can see that these are all long line farming. So what happens is that this is the system they are using. See, this kind of mussels will be hanged on this kind of ropes or long lines, and mussels will be, these are all mussels. These are all mussels. These small one are all mussels. Here also you can see that. So this system is here also you can, on the surface it appear like this one. See, this is how. So below each buoy there is a long line, and the mussel will be growing in them. So that kind of system is known as a long line or raft aquaculture, mainly for sea mussels, etc. So this is an idea on the culture system, how we can use a different type of culture system. Then based on the farming purpose, whether we are for the large scale, then it is called as a commercial aquaculture. Subsistent aquaculture, that is small scale, for a family of 2 or 3 people, they are rearing the fish just for their daily food. That is known as a subsistence aquaculture. Then ornamental aquaculture for decorative purposes. Then another is restorative aquaculture. From the term itself, for example, certain endangered species, they are very rare. In order to replace their population, we are growing them in artificial tank and introduce them into natural waters. That is known as a restorative aquaculture. So these are the purpose of different types of farm aquaculture. Then few more terms are there. One is aquaponics. Combines aquaculture with hydroponics. Fish waste but fertilizes plants, and sometimes you might have seen that aquaponics are there. Aquaponics is a very simple system. For example, so this is a kind of aquaponics. See here, you can see that. See here, you can see that the plants are growing, and here you can see that the way this waste from this sea water will be circulated into this the bed of plants, so that the waste of the fish will be utilized by the plants as a fertilizer, and they will be growing. So this system is known as aquaponics, and at home also you can cultivate this kind of small scale farming, and this is known as aquaponics, so that the vegetables will grow more faster. It's a very simple, and that technique is known by the name aquaponics. Then biofloc technology is there. Microbial communities convert waste into food. I will show you also that now biofloc is becoming more and more popular here. In many areas in Kerala, you can see that biofloc. See, these are all examples of biofloc. This kind of large tanks will be used. This is an example of biofloc. See, this kind of tanks. See, this is a type of biofloc. Here they will be utilizing some bacteria-rich bacterial populations are improved, so that more feed will be there. So that kind of technology is known as a biofloc technology. Then geothermal aquaculture uses naturally heated water sources for species that require water temperature. Here it is not popular, but in certain outside areas, geothermal aquaculture. See, this is a case of geothermal aquaculture. Not everywhere it is possible. See, these are all geothermal aquaculture. So in case of geothermal aquaculture, from the bottom, see here you can see that this is a geothermal aquaculture, farms of geothermal aquaculture, mainly in colder countries, and from the earth warm water will be coming, and that warm water will be used for growing tropical fish. So that kind of technology is known by the name geothermal aquaculture. So these are some new innovations in aquaculture. So mainly what you have to keep in your mind is what are the different types of aquaculture. Like based on the culture system, we can find different types of aquaculture, and based on the level of farming, we have 3 types: extensive, semi-intensive, and intensive. Then based on the species, we have 3 types: monoculture, polyculture, and IMTA. Then based on the salinity, we have freshwater, fish water and marine. So these are the different types of aquaculture that we can see here. So it's a very small topic, most of the time you may be knowing already.